What's the haps? I'm Morocco and welcome back to WildStar. We should probably be walking, right? This is a WildStar walk. We're going to walk through Wilderrun, which is a zone I've not visited yet. I just kind of dig the jungly aesthetic and ambience, with lots of fireflies twinkling in the night time, lots of jittering away of insects and monkeys and things and whatever the heck lives in a jungle. Anyway, it's kind of a cool place to be. I kind of like hanging out here. So I mostly just kind of wanted to get lost, and lost I did manage to get. There's loads of winding paths around here that just go all over the place. So we're just kind of gonna loop around, walk some places, I think, see where we can get. I confess this is take 2 of this video. I attempted to do this once already, and the game crashed. GG! Glad the game's still stable at this point, yeah. And then I got back to where I started and the game crashed again. So I'm hoping the game doesn't crash again, or I'm going to be a very, very annoyed Morocco. But whatevs. So we're going to go for a stroll. We shall see the sights and sounds and scantily clad Amazon ladies battling it out in the jungle. It's all good. It's all good. I'm sure a lot of people are enjoying the battle. Quite a lot. It's good viewing. Good viewing. Anyway, you're not here for the tits. Well, maybe you are, I don't know. But I'm presuming you're not here for the tits. I'm presuming you're here to listen to me talk nonsense about stuff and wander around places, talk about general things and the world and life around us. So I usually kick things off with a little WildStar news. And WildStar, I don't know. I honestly haven't kept too close track on it. I keep sort of reading the news posts every so often, but it's all stuff that every time my reaction's always like, they've done that before. They reran the hoverboard event, which obviously last year was timed to coincide with Back to the Future Day, and I guess they've decided to turn it into an annual thing now. I kind of lamented last year that I didn't get hold of hoverboard either, because they did the whole DeLorean hoverboard thing, and it was really cool, and I didn't buy it, and then I regretted it. And then this year they brought back the hoverboard, but they reskinned it a different color. And honestly, I forget what color it was, but I didn't like it. I know that's all I remember, because like I wanted the silver one. It's a DeLorean. I'm gonna fly around in a flying DeLorean hoverboard thing. It needs to be silver, right? If one is going to go back to the future, one doesn't do it in a blue or red or whatever the heck. I think it was red. I think it might have been red. I think it was like a red DeLorean thing, and I was like, no, I want a red DeLorean. It needs to be silver, man. Silver DeLorean or nothing. Go home. So yeah, that was that. That was kind of a bust. So didn't bother with that. I already had all the rewards from last year. I had all the costume pieces, so I was like, why bother? There's no incentive for me to do this. And now Halloween is upon us, or, well, I suppose by the time this video goes out, Halloween will have been yesterday's. It will be, Dia de los Muertos, in America, and, I think Dia de Muertos in Mexico, where they actually celebrate it and haven't bastardized it into some weird, sort of stolen celebration thing. I'm not well up on that honestly, because we're not very cultured in the UK, and we don't get that, and certainly we're not close to the country whose culture that is, so we didn't really get that. And the specifics of the language also are beyond me, because we didn't really get Spanish either. It's not well taught in our schools. It's not in every school, and I think quite often optional even when it is in them. I can tell you for a fact, the school I went to, mandatory French, optional German, and because it was that kind of school, we had optional Latin and Ancient Greek, were things that were available to us as fledgling students if we wished to learn them. Fun fact, I did opt to do Ancient Greek, because I was like, that sounds interesting. I would like to do Ancient Greek. When time came to be like assigned schedules and things and got feedback and discussion with, I can't remember exactly what the process was, but at some point I basically got some feedback that was like, so in the entire school you're the only student who expressed any interest in studying Ancient Greek. So if you really want to, if you're genuinely really interested in doing Ancient Greek, we will put this on as a lesson. Who are you? Culture the Lifesworn. You're a 5-man boss and you have 500,000 health. I feel like I could have a crack at that. He's only level 36. But that is not for today. That's not a job for today. That's a job for another day. Where are we heading? We are heading up into the Wildfall commune. I could stand to zoom in a bit to actually figure out where we are. Left, I think, is where I want to head. Yeah, left. Let's go left. Let's go this way. Through the jungles. So yeah, that's... They were like, we can give you like one-on-one tuition if you want, which, you know, in retrospect, actually, that would probably have been a pretty decent lesson. I would probably have got pretty good grades out of one-on-one tuition. You know... It's nice to have, like, the teacher's entire attention and efforts focused on literally having you, their only student, pass as well as possible. You're probably going to do alright out of that, but, you know, at the time, you know, I was much younger and I was like, oh, I want to be in a lesson where I'm the only student? That's weird. Oh, God, no, I'm used to being in lessons where there were, like, 20 to 30 students, I think, something thereabouts like that. No, one-on-one lessons, that's a weird concept, and I don't want to be part of that weird concept. I want no part of this weirdness. No, I will do Latin instead, which probably didn't work out as well as Greek might have, because I don't remember any Latin now, so whatever. Fine. Oh, my education is a joke. So, where were we? Oh yeah, culture and Dia de Muertos and whatnot. Yeah, so we can get Spanish, and yeah, we're not close to the country that had that culture, so we don't really borrow any parts of their culture. I mean, the only reason I have anything to do with it is I was kind of looking this up on Wikipedia the other day for work, as was my job. It wasn't quite my job, but I made it my job. I have a lot of flexibility in choosing what I get to define as my job. It's alright in that regard. So I was looking for things to promote on the Twitters, and you know, what holidays are coming up that we can tie things and products into, you know, push on the social medias. Well, there's Halloween coming up. I mean, well, what drinks are spooky? I don't know, not really much. I think my boss was like, oh, we could push the black vodka. It's like, oh, nothing says horror like black vodka. Eesh. I'm not so sure about that one. I'll give that one a miss. I don't think we actually did much for Halloween, honestly, all things considered. It did cross my mind that Dia de Muertos was around Halloweenish time, is all that's familiar with in my mind. Turns out it's today, I guess, as of this video going out. And... yeah, we got like tequilas and stuff that have got lots of Mexican artwork and stuff on it. It's like, oh, that could be kind of a cool thing to do for that. So, yeah, I might be able to promote that. But one thing that I kind of did find out looking at the Wikipedia page is that that is an important and protected part of Mexican culture. The UNESCO, who I don't know what that acronym stands for off the top of my head, but they are big into preserving culture and things around the world. There's an oldie-fashioned town not so far from me that's got a big pillar in the middle of it that says, oh, many of the buildings in this town are part of the UNESCO's heritage site because this is a site of heritage and cultural importance. But yeah, Dia de Muertos is like such a major part of Mexican culture that I forget the exact terminology, but basically they're pronounced as a part of culture that needs to be preserved for all time and is truly of great importance. And they've got this list. They've got a whole big list of these all over the world. And I was like, oh, this is mildly interesting. Let's get distracted. And actually, this kind of is going beyond my job, but I'm distracted now, so whatever. Let's have a quick glance down this list, because I'm really curious as to what else might be on this list. I'm running into a pack of cats. I don't think they'll attack me too much, but I am running into a pack of cats. Oh yeah, they see me. No, they don't see me. So yeah, let's mostly let's see. I'm interested. What's the UK's noteworthy cultural contribution? This list is ordered by country as well, so let's just scroll down to you. See what's under you. Where's you on this list? United Kingdom, United Kingdom. I'm not seeing it on here. Huh. That's weird. Is there nothing on here under the United Kingdom? That's kind of strange. Huh. Well, right. We'll scroll back up. Let's go back up to E. Maybe it's a little more fine grained than that. Maybe we're listed just straight up under England. Are we under England? Is that where we're at? No. No, I can't see that on here either. No, it's not. No. No England. Huh. So what I'm kind of drawing from this is we have no culture. We have no culture to speak of. We are entirely 100% uncultured. Utterly uncultured swine. But I do believe that is generally our stereotype on the world stage. So, in that respect, maybe it was bang on. But there you go. And now you know. It is official. UNESCO have declared the UK completely and utterly uncultured. Fun news! Fun news. There we go. That was a nice diversion that came from Halloween. Oh yeah, we're talking about Shades Eve, that's right. So, Shades Eve is back. That's much the same as last year, I think. Looking at the event description, it's kind of just like, this all seems pretty familiar. I looked on the forums, and the general consensus amongst most other players was, this all seems pretty familiar. I actually haven't delved properly into it to see if there is anything sort of unique and new and unfamiliar, but I don't hold out much hope. The game, I think, sort of... I was actually reading Massively OP. They kind of pointed out that the game is, as far as MMOs go, relatively new. And to compare it to something like World of Warcraft... World of Warcraft was going for a good few years. They had plenty of years under their belts before they really started tweaking existing events. It kind of started out with a repertoire of the common ones. You've got your Christmas, you've got your Halloweens. WildStars, it's Christmas and Halloweens. And yeah, you start introducing a few other things here and there. Slowly build it up and maybe come up with something unique like the Z-Pre initiative or whatever. The hoverboard racing is what that was. And yeah, you build things up, and then after a while you're like, well, we can't shoehorn too many more holidays in. Maybe we should revamp the things that we have. So here's hoping to maybe in the future WildStar will have something new, but honestly, right now, I'm very, very much of the opinion that WildStar's in a place where it needs an expansion. It doesn't need a new raid. A new raid is not going to engage the casual user base, and dribs and drabs of content are not going to engage most of the user base for more than a week or two, really. This game, it's been out 2 years? It's been out 2 and a bit years, 2 and a quarter, somewhere there about 2 and a quarter years, maybe even 2 and a third at this stage, if one wants to be really specific about things, which is probably due for a proper, actual, genuine expansion, right? The problem with smaller teams, and in this day and age, I think Carbine is probably a smaller team. Oh, that's a lot of red up there. Oh, that's Artemis in. Okay, this is. Oh, we've got Dorian Walker up there as well. Okay, cool. And Tressane Toria of the Taurine Sisterhood, who is a 40-man raid. Whew, how much health? Out of curiosity, 99 million and 85 million shielding with 18 CC resistance. Who is it? Are you supposed to be able to kill Tressane Toria? I mean, she's fightable. I'm just intrigued as to whether a 40-man raid actually might be able to kill Tressane Toria. Has that been done? Has anyone done that? Has any of the big guilds killed Tressane Toria? And overthrown the Taurine Sisterhood? That'd be pretty interesting. At the same time, we've also got Artemis Zinn sat there, who's also exactly the same, so... I'm guessing their figures are just set ludicrously high to try and deter even 40-man raids from actually having a crack at that. So, yeah, where was I? I was somewhere that I've lost. Yeah, expansions. Game needs an expansion. That's where I'm at. Beyond that, I guess mostly what I wanted to talk about this week was channel, because that's what I usually talk about. I got a suggestion that we got into a discussion in the comments on last time around about what I could do to improve the channel. Look, I'm gonna lay things down on you. I mean, people have been commenting for the last 6 months or so-ish on my channel that, oh, the channel is dead. It's as dead as Spiral Knights, lol, words to that effect, usually. And, yeah, I mean, I'll grant you, the numbers have not been as hot as they were once upon a time when I was covering Spiral Knights. Growth has been slow. Growth has, in some instances, been mildly negative, although I will explicitly state, you know, single figures negative, and never for more than like a few days. If you go on, if you do YouTube, you have a statistics page, and it says your overall net figures for the last month are, and somewhere in there is a list of change in subscribers. That number has never been high, certainly compared to where it was when, you know, people were flocking to my channel to see, ooh, Spiral Knights content. Pretty low, actually. And it did only briefly once dip into single digits below 0. But it has always been technically still positive, which I have taken as a positive, technically. It's not really what I wanted to see, though. I mean, maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just coloured by the fact that once upon a time the numbers were great, but this is obviously, yeah, people going to see Spiral Knights and little else. And I've asked what kind of content my remaining viewer base kind of wants to see. I have asked you guys, and I have tried making the content that you guys said you wanted to see as well, and that didn't really happen. One thing everyone has always said they kind of weren't terribly interested in was reviews, which is a shame because, as I've also said, that's the one thing I enjoy making the most. MMOs are obviously popular. There's certainly an element of player base that used to play Spiral Knights, now no longer does, remains subscribed to me, and like me is probably kind of always on the lookout for a new MMO that's worth playing. Something to replace the MMO that is missing from their life. And certainly with me not really playing WildStar anymore, that kind of, yeah, that is part of this, is the quest to find a new MMO to fill one's life with. Just kind of, and that's, I'm on board with that. But I also kind of, I've been trying to blend that with my critique content, and for whatever reason that doesn't work. Because like with almost any other series on YouTube, the first episode is okay, it's pretty good, whatever, it's great. People are interested to see the new thing. It's like, ooh, a new thing. New things? We like new things. Let us see the new things. Bring us new things. And you're like, okay, here, have the new things. Watch the new things. View them. And that's fine. And then a couple weeks later you're like, okay, I have played plenty of this game and I'm willing to bring you in-depth thoughts and critique based on my experiences of the game so far. I played some of it with an MMO. MMOs are almost by definition almost entirely impossible to actually properly, fully really review. So you can't really do that. But I do my best. I do my best. But the problem is, you'll only really want to see that first video, and by the time I've got my thoughts together, that's my second video. So, the first video, which honestly I don't think is... I think it's relevant content for someone to see. I mean, certainly if it's a brand new game on like launch day or something, like Project Genome was when I put my Project Genome video out. This was, oh, hey, look guys, brand new game. Would you like to see what you're going to be getting into if you drop money on this product and buy it and get into it? Here's your first half hour of content as an actual reference. That's going to be useful content to someone, I think. But in terms of an actual, hey, I played this game for a bit, here's how the mechanics actually play out, that then becomes my second video, and although I think it's the more useful video for someone contemplating getting into the game, it's considerably less viewed. Which almost makes me feel like, why did I bother? So there's an element to that. The only game I actually got to the point where I actually did a third look was Riders of Icarus. That didn't drop off quite as sharply as something like Project Genome. I mean, maybe the point of Project Genome was that it was a disastrously bad, a terrible looking game right from day one. And when I was like, hey guys, I'm going to look at it critically, most people didn't really think it was worth looking at the review because they'd got such a disastrously bad first impression from having just watched the raw gameplay of the first half hour. I am no good at stepping stones, apparently. So, yeah, maybe that's what that was. It certainly was not a game that really stood up. And I got dislikes on that. Which is like, there clearly were at least some fans of that game who weren't happy with my utterly canning that game. Which was weird, because if ever I played an MMO that deserved to be utterly canned, that was it. And the traditional defense of such products is, hey, it's an alpha, you can't judge it while it's in alpha. They're asking me to pay, I said it was £20 at the time, it wasn't, it's £15. They're asking me to pay £15 for the privilege of playing this game. It better be damn well playable and have something worth playing. It did not, therefore I'm quite content to can it. And my pricing on the DLC was off a bit as well, but they genuinely, honest to God, is a £75 Founders Pack that you can buy for that game that gives you 4 extra inventory slots. Count them, 4 for £75. I can conclusively tell you right now that that is not good value for money. It's not remotely good value for money. So, yeah, no, I'm not going to recommend that game to anybody. Not yet. Like I say, maybe it's a game that will be worth coming back to in like 2-3 years' time. When they're actually willing to stick 1.0 on it and call it a finished game. Maybe it would be worth a look at. Who could ever really say? Where are we at? We're at this crossroads. That leads us down to Dommies, so we want to go left. This way. Through giant electrical pylons. There's actually a relic that I can harvest for monies. But not a lot of money, so I'm not really going to be too bothered about it. We're going through anger. Are you angry? Nope. Taurine's all pretty friendly at the minute. I think maybe like once you've done the Taurine storyline, I think all the Taurine throughout the entire zone become neutral to you at that point, actually. That's probably what happens. That's probably why they're all being fairly friendly today. So, yeah, basically the format that I want to do doesn't necessarily seem to be the best format for that, and obviously I would love to do more MMO content. It really is, because clearly that's what you guys want to see, and I want to make more of it, but finding the games is bloody difficult. Finding something, I mean, I guess there's plenty out there that I could jump into old ones, but ideally I'd like to look into new ones, and they come along so few and far between, and then really I don't necessarily get all that much content out of them with my current formats. What I wouldn't mind doing is, ideally, I mean, the other thing you guys wanted to see was collaborative content, so what I'd really like to do is then combine MMOs with collaborative content, and find somebody else on YouTube that I would get on fairly well with, that wouldn't mind just doing collaborative MMO content. I don't know what format that would entail, whether it would just kind of be gameplay, let's play type stuff, but we're both in the world together, playing through it together. Okay, let's do that. Maybe even touching on some live streaming at some point. Maybe, question mark, who knows? That'd be good, but I don't know anybody else that wants to touch MMOs. Certainly my normal group, as it were, you know the guys, the Strangelands kind of crowd. None of them wants to touch MMOs with a 10-foot barge pole. I've asked them before, and the general reaction is always, oh god, MMOs, no, I'm not going anywhere near an MMO. Back when he was not a humongous channel and actually was willing to give me time of day, I think Blitzkriegsler once weighed in on that discussion, because he was once an active member of the Strangelands community, and had access to his words of wisdom. Now he has like 400,000 subs or something, and hasn't spoken to us in a very long time, but hey, that's neither here nor there. He has other people that he speaks to, people who are successful now. I mentioned MMOs, and he was like, oh god, no, MMOs, oh god. I think his very specific words were, ew, MMOs. I think it was literally his explicit wording. I can't help but think, having just found us a spot of lore over here, I don't find anywhere nearly enough of the Tales of Nexus, the Tales from Beyond the Fringe, whilst I'm wandering around these worlds. I feel like I should find more of those, and I just haven't, really. I don't think I've got many complete books of Tales from Beyond the Fringe, and I would really like more of those, because they're kind of cool to collect. Ooh, hello. Is this Tales from Beyond the Fringe? What is it? I can't see what it is. Tell me. Tales! It is Tales from Beyond the Fringe. Ha! I should complain about that more often, because apparently it makes them appear in the world around me. Man, it's been such a long time since I've seen the entire full collected works of Tales from Beyond the Fringe sat in a pile on the floor in Nexus in front of me. Now is that not how that works anymore? Okay, fine. Right, okay. So yeah, to touch back on collaborative content, that was, when I put that day that I put the poll out, that was by far the top results. It was like, everybody was like, we want to see you do stuff with other people. That, well, the eagle-eyed amongst you may have spotted there is some Minecrafty stuff currently going up on the channel, started yesterday. That'll be going up every other day for the next few days until that reaches its conclusion. I'm not at liberty to tell you how long the series is, though. And yeah, that's fun. That was a good collab piece. Don't get to do those anywhere near as often as I or anyone else should like, mostly because they are a pain to organise that many people in one place. We actually tried to organise even more people than that, and that was actually just who turned up. So it was still a good turnout. That was fun. So yeah, if we get to do any more Hermit Wars would be great. I do Hearthstone with Tulkas. I don't know. Tulkas is... I don't know what do you guys think of Tulkas? Here, Tulkas likes reading my comments. What do you guys think of Tulkas? Because I know some people, I think some people like Tulkas. I've done streams with Tulkas, and I'm pretty sure one of the comments we got was Tulkas' Bay, which we had a really long discussion about. So clearly, Tulkas works for some people. Other people utterly hate Tulkas. I know that for a fact. So there's also that. He is the Marmite of humans, I feel. Or if not that, definitely perhaps an acquired taste. I think for me it's just Stockholm Syndrome. I've just been forced to work with him so often that I just deal with it now. All those UHCs where Notch's wonderful random number generator was like, hey, Morocco and Tulkas should play together today. For what it's worth, not just a random number generator is still working perfectly. Go watch Hermit Wars. That random number generator is spot on. It's like nuclear decay random. Perfect. Oh my god. I got teamed up with him again in case you didn't know. For the third time, and in random drawings, me and him got paired up. You couldn't make that up. You couldn't. So I do, yeah, obviously I do plenty of content with Tulkas. Hearthstone happens, but I don't know. I don't know if you guys like hashtag Team Suicide or not. Tell me your thoughts. Going forward, worth noting that, firstly, December I'm going to have to do the same thing as last year. I'm going to take some days of my life where I just sit and record, like, visual novels and narrative style stuff, and then we will have a month that I will call Narrative Month. My work is going to be unconscionably busy throughout the entirety of December. I guess we want to go north from here. And as a consequence, I will... Oh, hey, I got eaten by a thing. You are likely to be eaten by a grue, apparently. Yikes. Let's stick to the path, maybe. Oh yeah, there's big spikes over there. Don't step in the spikes. You'll get eaten by a grue. I think that's a grue. Are these guys grues? I feel like they're grues. Are these guys angry? These guys are not angry. This is fine. This path is safe. We're okay. We good? We're good. So yeah, December, I'm just going to record a whole bunch of story stuff ahead of time. I know that's not everybody's bag. I quite enjoy making that kind of video. I know a lot of people don't come to my channel for that sort of thing. Sorry, it's that or I don't make videos in December. Those are the two options on the table there. I'm really almost certainly not going to have time to make much of any content in December, so some point in November I'm just going to make about 23 days worth of content and run them daily on the run up to Christmas. And then there'll be a few days off for Christmas, as is the way with many channels, to be fair. And after that, content will resume as normal, I suppose. One other thing. Would you guys want to do like a MMO news thing? That's a thing I kind of feel like I should, maybe would do. I don't know. I don't know how I would do it, present it, deliver it. And all I can think is that it would wind up being very, very similar to Dodger, Dex Bonus, Press Hard to Continue, call it what you wills, gaming news segment. Which, you know, since she's the one who inspired me to friggin' do visual novel and narrative type stuff in the first place, means at that point I'm actually borrowing ideas and content quite heavily from her format, which doesn't sit terribly well with me, but I don't know, how else does one deliver news? It's not like she's in a... And to be honest, it's not like she's doing a terribly original format. It's literally stand in front of the camera and read the news. They've been doing that on the TV for decades, gotta be honest. So yeah, I would go and scour the internet for MMO news. I'm already reasonably well abreast of quite a few things, but I could be a lot better abreast of a lot of things. And I will say a lot of what I would consider to be MMO news sources cover a lot of things that are not MMOs as well. So, sorry, but I'm looking at you, Massively OP. Massively OP, yeah, when they're like, here's what's happening in, I'm struggling to think of a good example now. They cover Overwatch a lot, actually, to be fair. I've seen Overwatch pop up on there a few times. It's like, Overwatch is not an MMO. It's got the M, as in multiplayer, not massively. And it's got the O, and because it's online. And it's G, it's definitely a game. I mean, you could probably have the P in there if you really wanted. It's a Mopka. It's not a Mamorpaga, it's a Mopka. That's pretty much all it is. Mopka. It's a multiplayer online playing game. There's no... Well, I suppose maybe the teams play roles. Maybe it's just a Morpaga. One could say, well, yeah, I suppose one has team roles. Why am I doing this entire thing in stealth? I don't know why I'm in stealth so much. So we're sneaking past something and I forgot to unstealth. So yeah, I'm on the remains of a something here. I don't know what this is. Ancient... It's an ancient crash site. Something crashed in ancient times. And, now we're on it. Probably some sort of ancient robot. Oh, yeah! Got it. Nailed it. I am the best. Woo! Come on, up onto the girder. Onto the top. Yep, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. That's perfect. Nailed it. Absolutely. Okay, yeah, so, firstly... I want a screenshot of that. Yep, screenshot nailed. And now I'm going to bid you adieu, I think. So yeah, tell me what do you want like MMO news on my channel? Is there a thing you would kind of want to see? I don't think I have. I certainly don't have a good video camera to capture it with, and I certainly don't have a good place to record with. So maybe I couldn't do the kind of "Welcome to the news studio" format. I'm going to read the news kind of thing. That wouldn't necessarily work unless I had a better place to record. And I could figure something out. Yeah. And now my mind's immediately thinking, ah, crap, the only other news format I could possibly think of would be to beat... Oh, man, Total Biscuit did the other format, which is that I'm not in a news studio, here's just some graphics kind of format. So, yeah. Struggling on the format thing. Do you want news, and how do you want your news? How do you like your news? How do you want to get your news? Do you want your news to be read by a suave British voice? Assuming that's what you think my voice is. Feedback, please, because I'm... Honestly, I've contemplated a few times in recent history, is like, the YouTube thing, is this thing actually working out? Maybe it's just time to kick it in the head and try and do something else productive in my life, because this is perhaps turning out to be not as productive as I thought it would be. I've entertained people for a while, but those people seem to have wandered off now, and I'm not really entertaining a great many people anymore. And there are channels with a fraction of the subscriber base of mine, they're getting many, many more views, and it just feels like this isn't really working out. So, let's see, you know, It's disheartening, is what that is. As always, looking forward to hearing what you have to say. If you think the solution, by the way, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you think your solution is you should play X game, I'm going to tell you you're wrong, because anyone who dedicates their entire livelihood to the success or failure of one single game is asking for everything that comes their way. And I will, and as an example, I will refer you to all of the failing and slowly dwindling Minecraft channels that were once successful livelihoods for people, and who are now struggling to make ends meet quite as much as they used to. There's a few of them around. And to that end, a lot of World of Warcraft channels as well. But there you go. Thank you very much for joining me. I have been Moroka. This has been a Wilderrun. I hate to call it a wander because I did a White Veil wander, but we did wander. That very much fell into wandering category. We wandered around the jungle, so that was a Wilderrun wander. I will see you next time.